Let's see here. I think I need to plug in my computer. 1 second. Well, just you and me, Peter.
All right.
Do most people call you Peter or Pete?
Since it's just the two of us, I can share this with you. Most people call me shithead.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I
Oh,
don't
Pete.
think we're recording yet, so that's good. Oh, or maybe we are.
Oh, we are. Okay.
We just kidding.
No, yeah, no. Thanks for asking. Most people call me Pete. I
Pete,
always
okay.
introduce myself as Peter because I've learned that people hear Steve or Phoenix or Lee or any number of things.
Phoenix, get out of here. You don't look like a phoenix. Alrighty. Okay. So
all right.
let's see.
Let me just add, if this isn't a productive use of your time, I can catch up with this stuff some other time.
Well, I tell you what, since it's just me and you, let's just have like, is there anything that you need help with your lease deal that I can help you with?
With the lease deal?
Yeah.
No, I'm just the owner is in China,
Okay.
and I'm just waiting. It takes forever to get documents back and forth to get them signed.
Are you up to date on getting everything inside command and everything's approved up to what you have signed so far by for compliance reasons?
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing we're waiting on at this point is for her to complete paperwork specifically for the condo association.
Oh, okay. So you already have the signed lease.
Oh yeah, got the signed lease. We got the
and you've uploaded the signed lease and everything for Brad to approve?
Yes.
Well, have you filled out the commission tab?
I have not, but I'll do that next.
We could walk through it if you want.
Sure.
All right, why don't you go ahead and why don't you just share your screen with me, and I'll stop sharing, and then maybe we can just walk through it. So that way, the second the check gets here, we can get you paid really quickly. Might as well do something.
Yeah. How do I share video? Share screen. There it is. Desktop 1. Okay, it's grinding along.
And just pick the first screen button on the top left-hand corner when that white box pops up when you hit screen share.
Right.
Just in case.
Okay. Zoom will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. I don't want to quit Zoom, right?
Oh. So you hit screen share and then you had the white screen pop up?
Well, no, it's so now I'm in my security and privacy settings.
Oh. Shit, I don't know.
Okay. Share screen, there we go.
There we go, okay.
Okay, have you got it?
Yep.
Okay. So, let me go back. Okay, so let me go to opportunities. Leases pending. Landlord. Okay. All right, so here's the opportunity. We'll go to the Commissions tab.
Okay. So we're leasing this place out for $13.50.
Right.
They plan on occupying it in 4 days, maybe.
Right.
You sign the lease on the 11th, and you are getting paid roughly, that looks like 75%.
It
Not
should be
quite.
half.
Does that have? Okay, so you signed the deal for 75% total?
Right. And 25% is going to the other agent.
Cool. So everything looks okay, except for right now you're not getting any money. So let's scroll down a little bit and click
Okay.
on, so the top looks good. So as you can see, there's an error that shows remaining agent commission balance.
Right.
So anytime you see that, it won't let you submit. So in this case, you'll notice it says your unit is 1, but your gross commission is 0, and your net pay is 0. So we just need to update that. So if you click on
Okay.
edit agent payment,
Okay.
and we're gonna just hit the calculate commission thing and see if that just pops it in there or not. It has like a little arrow that's a circle right there where it has at the very top the agent gross commission. If you just hit the
Oh,
calculate, I
gotcha.
just want to see
Okay.
the, okay,
Yeah.
it does. It pulls it in. Cool. And let's scroll to the bottom. That all looks fine. Okay, let's hit save changes and see if we get.
Okay. And do I need to account for the other agent's commission here?
No, not at all. All we need
Okay.
is their W-2, not W-2, shit. Their W-9 from their broker,
Okay.
signed by their broker, and then the
Right.
office will pay them separately.
Okay. So I'll save these changes.
Yep, this should be exactly what you're getting.
Okay. The office and going to take something off the top.
Probably. Hit save changes and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're gonna take $240. You're gonna get $430
Okay.
for a job well done.
And then,
So, but consider that, you know, this lady trusts you now to rent her place out. I think she was a lady. Did I remember that correctly?
yeah.
Right. So in the future, maybe she gets tired of renting this place out and the headache of having to whatever, and then she lets you sell it, right? So you're
Right.
doing a little bit of front end work here for a potential payoff in a year or two to sell it.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
trying to give you a pat on the back because the $400 isn't enough. So for the amount of hours you've already put into this, and as you can see, I don't think there's any errors.
Right.
And if you just scroll to the top, so from here we would just hit submit, and
Okay.
and it would go off, and you have the address in there, which is great. And Chantilly, is this like a condo or an apartment? What is this?
Yeah, it's a little 1-bedroom condo.
Nice. Wow, that's a really good rent for a 1-bedroom condo.
Yeah, she wanted $14.50, and but she didn't want to spend any money. So
To fix it.
Yeah, so we knocked $100 off of it for the tenant, who's a kid right out of college, to take it as is.
Okay, cool. And maybe
So,
he just like does some small improvements while he's there.
yeah, or he's straight out of a dorm room or a college apartment. So regardless, it's a step up.
Yeah. And then you don't have to hit submit now if you don't want to. But when you're ready, it's all ready to go to hit submit.
Okay.
Once you get everything finalized.
Might as well. Thank you.
There we go.
Excellent.
Did it. So you're all ready to go.
Okay.
So once you get those last few papers in and they move in, so just remember, they're going to give you 2 separate checks, right? They're going to give you a check for the deposit, and whoever who has agreed to hold that, whether it's you or your owner, I assume it's the owner.
Right.
So that'll be a check made out directly to her, and then there's going to be a check for the full first month's rent, which will be made out to Keller Williams Realty Dulles.
Right.
Because that's it's an actual commission check, and then they'll pay the prorated amount next month, and then they'll be all square, and then their last month's rent will be a full month's rent payment whenever,
Okay.
however long their lease is.
Right. Right.
Sometimes I know when I first moved here, that's not how they did it in California, so it was a little confusing to me.
Yeah.
So I just like to over-explain shit.
No, that's good. I appreciate that. So you came from California?
Yeah, we were there for about 3 years in Orange County.
Oh, nice.
So
I was in Silicon Valley when it was um, I would say starting in the early 80s.
oh gosh, you should have bought
And,
some houses. Shit.
oh hell, I couldn't. I mean,
It was
I
probably
was
crazy
on.
then, right?
It was. I was on a military salary, and I didn't, but a lot of people that I work with qualified for food stamps.
Wow. Yeah,
And
you can't
the
buy a
only
house like that.
yeah, and we were in a condo, and I'm sorry, we were in a rental, and it flipped to condos, and so we had to move.
Oh, jeez.
I
I
mean,
don't know how, I mean, because I don't know how people live out there. I mean, I had a friend who lived in San Francisco and he did really well. Like he went from Gainesville, Florida to there and he was like, oh man, yeah, they're gonna pay me like 150 grand. And I'm like, man, that's not a lot of money out in San Francisco.
no,
That's like
not at all.
making
It's
30 grand.
yeah, and my twin brother lives in the heart of Manhattan,
Oh, geez.
and you know, $1 million will get you um, a one
Two
bedroom
bedrooms, a 2-2.
yeah, yeah, or a 2-1. But anyway,
How did I not know you were a twin?
I don't know.
Is it identical or
Oh
is there
God,
another?
no.
Okay, I was about to say, is there another Peter walking around somewhere? I'm gonna run into you in like New York and be like, oh shit, Peter, what's up?
Hey, no, it's no, we're not identical at all, and uh, it's funny because either Paul is his name, Paul or Pete Engel, very common names.
Yeah.
And I used,
Peter and Paul, are you kidding me?
yeah, well, good Catholic family.
Sure. So you probably have 6 or 7 other brothers and sisters then.
No, actually, just one other brother. So we broke the mold
Yeah, you, you ended the chain.
into the chain. So
Awesome.
while I have you, let me go back.
Okay.
Um,
Was that your website you had pulled up?
yes,
Okay.
that's it's the public facing part of my KW website. I also have a website through Bright, whatever they call that, Sphere.
Oh, you see you're paying for it?
Yeah, I figured I'd give it a go and see what happens. Oops, that's not it.
Are you using it?
I am, yeah,
As in like promoting it?
yes.
Okay.
So I figured, like all new agents, I gotta screw around and try things.
Yeah, yeah. Especially because I mean that's not a huge investment either.
Right. So, um, so in documents, um, I've got a lot of stuff in here that I don't know is necessary. Um, do we save the tenant's credit check?
You can.
Okay.
I
I
would.
didn't know if there. I didn't know if there were privacy concerns there.
No, it's only access is our compliance coordinator, which is Brad. I can see
Yeah.
it, but I don't go in them.
Yeah.
I only have access if like something's broken or I need to help Brad or something. So,
Okay.
but no privacy concerns.
Okay. And then in terms of supporting documentation, when you add documents, there are preset, as you well know, I'm not telling you that you don't know, but there are preset categories. So, and they don't really fit. Like I put his proof of insurance in here, and you can see it's a disclosure, or I
Mhm.
just chunked it under disclosure.
Yeah, it's not an item that Brad necessarily needs to see for compliance, but it is an item that as part of the NVAR lease agreement, it does say that they should have renter's insurance. So
Right.
I think the way you put it in there under supporting documentation is exactly where you should. That way, there's ever an issue, your client can be like, "Hey, Peter, I don't, for whatever reason I don't have it, I don't have the proof of insurance. Like, do they have insurance? You'd be like, oh, let me just go back, because you can access this opportunity even when it's closed,
Right. Right.
and go back and access these documents, which is nice because it's essentially it's a online digital folder for you.
Okay. And then I have stuff here mostly for, at least from my perspective, a record keeping use. Like I've got a sheet with the points of contact for, for this transaction. I don't know that that's needs to be saved, but I figured if I've got it, I might as well keep it.
Yeah, I'd say this looks great. The only thing I will say is that it doesn't look like you've submitted the listed section for Brad to approve yet.
I'm sorry, the which section?
So you have like listed, under contract, and closed on the left-hand side, right under residential VA. So if you click on that, the submit to MC is still green. So if you're comfortable with that and Brad has signed that exclusive right to lease listing agreement, you can go ahead and submit that to Market Center and have him approve that.
Okay. He already approved that.
Well, he signed it, but he still has to go in here and click the button. I know it feels redundant.
Okay. No, that's fine.
And then under contract, you should have the signed lease there.
Under contract.
So see how it says completed and signed. So the rental application should go there. Any of those disclosures, lead-based paint, all that kind of stuff. And then I guess the closed folder is the signed lease.
Right. Okay.
And then just like how you did the other one, you just have to submit each one of those under contract and closed to Market Center.
Okay. All right. I'll just clean all that stuff up.
Yeah. And then once we get the check, it looks like you'll be all good to go as long as Brad has gone in here and approved it. And if you find that it's been a couple days and he hasn't approved it, just send him a text. That's what I do, or send him an email with the address of the opportunity. What I would do is, if you go to details, we should update the details. So because right now the name of the opportunity is the name of your client dash landlord. So if you click on the little pen on general information,
okay,
it makes it easier for Brad to find if you change at the very top the opportunity name to the address. And it might be easier if you just copy paste it from the previous screen. You probably already know it. You've been writing this thing up for days.
Chantilly, there we go. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, and then just in the email to say, hey, opportunity, my landlord opportunity with this address just needs to be approved. I submitted it on this date. When you get a chance, thanks.
Yeah.
And that's what I do if it's been like 2 days and he hasn't seen it. And honestly, he doesn't get bothered by that. He'd rather you do that because just sometimes he just, he'll admittedly say he'll just forget to go in there sometimes and update.
Yeah, and I got to imagine he's like a one-armed paper hanger these days.
Yeah, he's got a lot.
So okay, good.
So, other than that, it looks good.
Okay, well, thank you. And
was there anything else that you wanted to go through, or?
I in the back of my mind, I wonder how much traffic the agent websites in Command get or attract. I'm assuming that's something that I'd have to promote, drive people to the website.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't perform very well on Google when people search for your name. It just, for whatever reason, they just haven't got around to, what's the word I'm looking for? They're what is that called when your search will pull up higher for your website? Their SEO. Yeah, their SEO algorithms just for our sites are just really bad right now. So if you want people to go to it, you'd have to be driving traffic. And by that, I mean like posting on social media, with content from your website. and having people click on it that way, like actually creating pathways. Or if you really wanted to spend money, then you could, I suppose, do like Google AdWords or something like that. But that's honestly a
Yeah.
bottomless pit of money you'll never recoup. I mean, imagine I consider that, because of how much money some of the big players spend on it, it would be like, you trying to play, starting quarterback for any professional football team is what
Yeah.
you would be up against. I'm not saying you couldn't do it.
But
You wouldn't be very great, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have a friend who works for a company called ComScore. And they literally got their start counting clicks a million years ago.
Nice.
But they do all this analytics, and I've talked to him a few times about this stuff, and he said, same thing you're saying. If you want to.
Yeah, I won't sugarcoat it. Their SEO sucks for the command sites. They know it, but the thing is they know it sucks and they're gonna fix it. It's just, I don't think it's an easy fix necessarily. So it's just not. It's not going to be immediate, unfortunately.
Yeah, and what everybody tells me is if you want to score high with that stuff, you have to be constantly updating and refreshing whatever your social
Oh
media
yeah, you have
is.
to be putting content on there. You have to be driving, like I said, driving traffic. It's one of those things where it's like, if you're not, it's a type of lead gen, right? It'd be like a lead gen. You're like driving people there to register, to sign up for like a free home eval, something. You're giving them something of value that somebody wants, and they're going to give you their information in return.
Right.
So, I mean, that's all it is. And you want their information, that way you can call them and then sell their house.
Right. Call them relentlessly.
Yeah, it's the only purpose of it. And so that's why I only probably do this training maybe once a quarter, because I honestly don't think it's something that new agents should really even be focusing that much on. But that being said, they should still have one, so that way they can send listings through it, right?
Right.
Because it's just not worth the amount of, it's just from like the team meeting on Tuesday, it's not in the 20%. It's not even close.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right, Pete.
All right. Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it. And
Phoenix.
Seriously, Pete or anything is fine.
I think I'm going to stick to Phoenix. I like that.
All right. Yeah. So Jan Kernan, if you know that name.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Jan.
She gave me that name.
Oh, did she?
In an Irish bar on St. Patrick's Day a long time ago.
Jan seems like a fun lady to go out there and drink with at an Irish bar too.
Oh, she is. She is. Part of the evening I spent, I literally had bruised ribs. Because
God, that's so awful.
Yeah, it was. But at the time, I had felt nothing. The bar owners decided to use the table we were at as the stage for the wet T-shirt contest.
Sounds like a pretty awesome night.
Yeah, so literally dozens of people were pressing up against us.
And you got bruised ribs. My uncle bruised my ribs one time. We were messing around. He punched me in the back of my. He didn't know. I was only like, I don't know, 16 or something like that, 17. So he'd tackle me or whatever, and we'd wrestle, and I don't know. He raised me and my sister, but anyway, he punched me too hard one time, unbeknownst to him. And I swear to God, I couldn't breathe or laugh right for like 4 months.
I believe it. I believe it.
It's so awful.
Yeah. I took a spill out in Colorado skiing, and same thing. I mean, it was months before I was right.
It's crazy how long it takes. Like, God,
yeah.
Awful. All right,
anyway.
buddy.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Sir. We'll see you around.
Have a great one.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.